Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Ultimate Cowboy Fan 88, and obviously, like the title says, I'm going to be giving a review of the Dallas Cowboys 2013 NFL Draft. So I'm going to go in order, and first off, I just want to say that a lot of Cowboy fans and a lot of non-Cowboy fans have really just blasted Jerry Jones and the Cowboys organization for some of the picks they've taken, mainly the center. Um, I feel like for the Cowboy fans, I don't get it. For your other teams, go on, hate us if you want to hate us. I don't care. Um, there's a lot of hate when it comes to Cowboys, America's team. Get over it. But for Cowboy fans, Jerry Jones hasn't really done us wrong in the draft process, unless you want to go to the draft with Felix Jones and Mike Jenkins. Other than that, he's been really good with what he's gave us, especially later in the draft, not necessarily the first of the draft. The best draft pick that he's done in the last couple of years, in my own personal opinion, is DeMarco Murray if he would stay healthy. But he hasn't really done us wrong in the draft choices, and I think you guys need to have a little bit more faith in what he's doing. So first off, like I said, I'm going in order, and the first one is going to be Travis Frederick, the center out of Wisconsin. He's 6'4", he weighs 312. He has good size, and he's not bad. I mean, everyone thinks that he's a third rounder, but he may not have made it out of the second round. And with our second round choice, we got a tight end, and this tight end is fast. He has good size, and he's going to be productive for the Cowboys. And we couldn't pass up getting this tight end that fell to us in the second round. But I'm going to get to that in a minute. This center has the capability of being a consistent center of our offensive line. He's been consistent in Wisconsin. Just because you hear Mike Mayock say that he's a third rounder doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be productive as a third rounder. He could be productive as a first round center. Just because you have a prospect or a scout's opinion on a player doesn't mean they're going to be where they say they are. They could be a lot better, but then again, he does have the capability of being a bust. There has been first round busts. There's been people drafted number 1 overall and have been some of the biggest busts in NFL history. Just because you say someone's a third rounder and they go in the first round. And besides, it's not like he was a top 10 pick. He was drafted 31st overall, close to the second round, where a lot of people pictured him going. Mike Mayock is the only opinion, and everyone's taking it like they're reading the Bible, and it's ridiculous. He's going to be productive for the Cowboys, and he has the option of playing guard. He played both positions very well and very consistent while at Wisconsin, and people aren't paying attention to that. They just want to pay attention to, oh, Mike Mayock knows everything. This guy should be taken in the third round. But if he waited to the third round, he probably wouldn't have been there for the Cowboys. And like I said, he probably would have been taken in the second round, because what Mike Mayock also said was he's the best center in the draft. So that means that other teams in the second round that need an offensive lineman probably would have jumped on taking him. So it was very smart for the Cowboys to take him at 31st overall, and most people aren't paying attention to that, and it's ridiculous. So now on to the second pick. Gavin, I think is how you pronounce his first name, Escobar, tight end out of San Diego State. He's 6'6", he weighs 254. He's fast, he has great ball skills, and if you want to listen to Mike Mayock said he has some of the best hands for the tight end in this draft. Now, I've seen his tape, and I've seen some of San Diego State's games, and I don't know why he escaped being taken earlier, but he's going to be good. He has Jason Witten to mentor him up, especially with James Hanna. I think Escobar is faster than Witten, and I think Escobar will actually be more productive than Witten. Most people don't like this pick because we have Hanna and we have Witten, but we don't have Phillips. I can't remember his first name anymore. I don't believe we have him anymore. So we do need a third tight end. And what also people aren't thinking is Escobar is actually a complete tight end. He can do blocking, he can do catching, he can basically do everything you want a tight end to do, but I guess because he's from San Diego State and everything, and he doesn't have necessarily the most stats of most tight ends that have been drafted, like the Bengals tight end in the first round, but he's going to be very productive, and I think he's going to be a great fit for Dallas. And I think when Jason Witten retires, which I think will be in the next few seasons, everyone's going to be glad that the Cowboys got Escobar and James Hanna. What I really think is James Hanna and Escobar should start, and Jason Witten should escape from being a starter to a situational tight end, because he's not being as productive as far as touchdowns go. And really, the only time you really see Witten is on mainly play-action passes and third down situations. So he's already basically a situational tight end, but he's out there most of the time, which I think will stop happening now that he's a little bit older and slower than what he used to be. So the third round pick that we got from the Panthers through the Niners is Terrence Williams, wide receiver out of Baylor. I think because he slipped to the third round, not because he's not as productive, but because if he went to the draft last year, he would have been a lot higher, I think, in my own personal opinion. I think he would have been a late first rounder or an early second rounder, because he had RG3 throwing to him, and his stats did go down a bit when RG3 left, and the Baylor's quarterback isn't necessarily the best, but he's not going to be an outside guy. I think he's just going to be a slot receiver, and I think it's going to ultimately still be Dez Bryant and Miles Austin, but I think that Williams would be great for that slot, because most people are going to be more focused on Bryant mainly, and especially Miles Austin, because you don't want to let Miles Austin just run loose. So they might just let Terrence Williams have a little bit more leeway, because he's not going to be a big name guy, and I think he's going to be great for that situation. So the next one is also in the round 3. J.J. Wilcox out of Georgia Southern. Not necessarily the best of safeties. What I think about him is, I think he's going to be good enough to start eventually. I don't think he's going to start right away, but I think he's going to earn his starting position by competing. And one thing about this guy is he's definitely physical, and he's not afraid to go in there and stopping the run. I think he's going to be mainly a run-stopping safety, but he also has good focus on the ball and getting to the ball catcher. And you don't really see him doing too much play on the ball when it's in the air, but that's something that's very coachable. And the next round, which is the fourth rounder, BW Webb, cornerback out of William & Murray. He's a small, and he's a nickel corner. And not only is he small, though, he's very fast, and he is extremely physical. If you don't know this guy, watch some of his tape on YouTube. He's very fast. He can stop the run. He can stop the pass. He can disrupt the pass, too. He is very, very fast, and he's smooth on his turns and cuts. I think this corner will be great. I think he's going to be basically a instant starter. I don't think there's anyone that could compete. He's not, in my opinion, as good as Claiborne. Definitely not as good as Carr, but I think he's definitely worth being the third corner on this roster. But then again, there's not much competition, or at least not good competition, at our corner depth anyways. So the next one is the fifth round, and I think this one is actually a steal, and that's Joseph Randall, a running back out of Oklahoma State. Again, watch some of the highlights from this guy. He's not necessarily fast. He's like DeMarco Murray. He's not going to necessarily burn someone on the long run, but what he does better than what I think Murray is he's better at looking for the hole while still running forward, and he has very nice cutting. I think his cutting is better than Murray, but I don't think he's going to beat Murray for the starting position. But you never know, because Murray is injured, and if Murray gets injured again, it could be like a Felix Jones situation. Everyone thought that Felix Jones was the thing. He got injured. Murray came in, wowed everyone, earned everyone's love. And if Murray gets injured, I think Joseph Randle will probably fight hard for that starting position. And the next one, this is the only one I don't really like. Devontae Holloman, outside linebacker out of Southern California. I think he has nice speed, but I don't necessarily think he's necessarily... I don't necessarily think he's consistent enough, and I don't think he's good in coverage, and it would be pointless to take an outside linebacker for rush situations because we now have the 4-3 defense. However, I think he will mainly be a special teams guy, but that's just my opinion. I don't know what Dallas is going to do for him. I'm not a fan of this pick, but it's the last pick anyways in the 6th round, so you're not really going to be expecting to look for necessarily a starter unless you can find someone like a Joseph Randle that we got in the 5th round. So that's all for today. If you have any comments or disagrees or agrees on it or anything you want to say, go ahead, leave a comment. Sorry for constantly running my nose. I'm a bit sick, but so yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have something you would like to share, then please feel free to comment, and catch you guys later.